In a move that has sent shockwaves through both high society and Hollywood circles, Canadian stylist and once close confidante Jessica Mulroney has officially cut ties with Meghan Markle and done so publicly. Once referred to as Meghan's ride or die, Jessica's unexpected withdrawal has not only left the Duchess of Sussex blindsided, but has ignited a fresh wave of speculation about Meghan's increasingly fractured personal relationships. Sources close to both parties say this wasn't just a quiet falling out, it was a deliberate, visible, and calculated disassociation, one that may mark the final unraveling of Meghan's most loyal inner circle. With growing whispers from insiders, emerging social cues, and media silence from Mulroney herself, one thing is clear. Meghan Markle's once carefully curated image as a loyal friend and victim of royal coldness is now being re-examined under a more cynical light. What happened behind closed doors that led Jessica to turn her back on the Duchess she once helped dress for her royal wedding? From the very beginning, many questioned the foundation of Meghan and Jessica's friendship. While the world was charmed by their sister-like bond, insiders reveal that their dynamic was often transactional. Jessica provided Meghan with a passport into elite Canadian social circles during her time filming Suits, while Meghan helped catapult Jessica into international relevance once she married into the British royal family. A Toronto socialite familiar with both women candidly remarked, "Jessica was useful for Meghan, and Meghan was gold for Jessica." But friendships built on mutual benefit often fall apart when one party no longer has anything to gain. This theory gained traction when Meghan relocated to California and gradually began to distance herself from former close companions, many of whom felt discarded once their use had run its course. Jessica's fall from favor may not have been due to scandal alone, it may have been the inevitable expiration of a one-sided friendship. Jessica Mulroney's silent but unmistakable move came during a public event in Toronto, where she was approached by journalists asking about Meghan. Her response was curt, "I have nothing to say about that chapter anymore." No words could have shouted louder. This statement marked a definitive line in the sand, one that was quickly picked up by media outlets across Canada and the U.S. Sources say this was not a spontaneous comment, but a deliberate public message meant to signal to the world, Jessica is done defending Meghan Markle. Why the public split? Many speculate that Mulroney had finally grown tired of defending her friendship with Meghan in the face of growing criticism, especially after the 2020 social media scandal that nearly ended her career, in which Meghan's silence was deafening. Jessica Mulroney is not the first friend to distance herself from Meghan Markle. From childhood friends to college roommates, former colleagues to royal staff, an unsettling pattern has emerged. Once someone no longer fits into Meghan's trajectory, they quietly disappear from her circle. Nanaki Pretty, a lifelong friend who served as maid of honor in Meghan's first wedding, famously said, "She was always very calculated." The trend continued with her estrangement from her own family, excluding nearly every Markle relative from her royal wedding save for her mother, Doria. Meghan's half-siblings and father, Thomas Markle, have since become vocal critics of her character, accusing her of climbing ladders and cutting cords when convenient. The latest fallout with Jessica Mulroney only reinforces this image of Meghan as a social climber whose friendships rarely survive beyond their utility. When Jessica Mulroney found herself at the center of a racial controversy in 2020, it was widely expected that Meghan, an outspoken advocate for racial justice, would publicly support her friend. Instead, Meghan chose silence. Jessica lost brand deals, a major television role, and her public reputation. Meghan, however, remained untouched and unresponsive. Insiders say Jessica was heartbroken, expecting her friend of over a decade to step forward. "She was left to fight alone," said a family source. And that's when the disillusionment began. The betrayal reportedly drove a deep wedge between them, with Jessica feeling abandoned in her darkest moment by someone she had fiercely supported through the harshest media scrutiny. The recent public statement appears to be the culmination of years of quiet resentment. Critics argue that Meghan's handling of her friendship with Jessica is not an isolated incident, but part of a larger PR strategy that has increasingly backfired. Her public image has undergone dramatic shifts, from the glamorous outsider who charmed the royals to the embattled Duchess defending her truth on Oprah, to now, a figure who seems to leave fractured relationships in her wake. Once praised for her poise and strength, Meghan's relentless drive to control her narrative has reportedly left former friends, allies, and even palace insiders feeling used and manipulated. Royal commentator Daniel Forrester notes, "You can only play the victim for so long before people start asking, are you the common denominator?" Jessica Mulroney's exit could have wider implications. Hollywood and high society circles are notoriously sensitive to shifting reputations. If Meghan is seen as someone who cannot maintain genuine relationships, it may hinder her ambitions in the entertainment industry. Since their move to Montecito, Harry and Meghan's Netflix and Spotify deals have attracted mixed reviews, and the public has begun to scrutinize not only their projects, but also their personal credibility. Jessica's silent departure may be the final red flag that convinces others in Meghan's circle to reconsider their alliances. One industry insider reportedly told Page Six, "People don't want to be the next friend who gets ghosted." While Meghan has distanced herself from the royal family, the Windsors are reportedly taking quiet satisfaction in her unraveling social circle. One unnamed palace aide was quoted by The Telegraph as saying, "We always knew the truth would catch up." Whether fair or not, this split provides the firm an opportunity to subtly reinforce its long-standing message that Meghan was the outsider who never truly understood or respected the institution she married into. And now, even outside the palace walls, her support appears to be crumbling. Perhaps the most tragic part of the saga is its potential impact on Prince Harry. Once viewed as a free-spirited royal rebelling against convention, Harry now finds himself increasingly isolated from both his family and the friends who once formed his support system. Meghan's influence is undeniable, but has it come at the cost of his relationships and public perception? The question that now looms, is Harry beginning to see the same pattern the world sees? Jessica Mulroney's public decision to sever ties with Meghan Markle is more than just a spat between friends. It is symbolic of a deeper issue, one that even royal defenders and Sussex supporters can no longer ignore. Meghan's carefully maintained image has taken hit after hit, and the Mulroney fallout may be the final blow to her credibility as a loyal friend and genuine public figure. Her rise was meteoric, but her fall, marked by silence, severed ties, and increasing public skepticism, may be just beginning.